Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori and today we're setting up my bullet journal for the month of July. I will be using some Tombow Brush Pens in colors N89 and 942. I also have pulled out an olive zebra mild liner. I don't use this too much, but I do sprinkle it in here and there. And then for my writing pens, I will be using the Tombow Fudonosuke and then a Pigma Micron in 01. A little bit later on, I will also pull out a fine liner in 005 as well. I'll be using the Washi Tape Shop Petals and Parchment Washi Tape, primarily for all of my decoration in this spread. The Washi Tape Shop is actually having a promo right now. I believe if you use the code SUMMER, you get 18% off of your order. I will have that linked in the description box below for you with the link to this washi tape set. If you're watching this video after July 7th, 2024, then I believe that will be expired, but I do have a 10% discount that I'll pop down there as well. I am using these headers that I print and cut with my Cricut, and I actually have filmed another video basically explaining how I did this. It should be live the exact same time this video is, so I will link that down below for you as well if you want to head over there and check it out in case you want to know how to print and cut title stickers for your bullet journal setups. Like I said, I will just have that in the description box below for you. So for my setup this month, I had a bit of a back and forth with myself, really. Like I wanted to do initially something a lot more extravagant, but I found that I was like having to talk myself into trying to get everything prepped and set up because like really I didn't want to do it. Not so much because like I didn't like the idea of it anymore, because I do still love the idea. I wanted to do another like scrapbooky type theme. I just didn't have the extra energy to really spend planning everything out. And so I was having like a little bit of a mental war with myself, trying to decide, like trying to force myself really to do it. But then I really thought about it some and I was like, I don't want to force myself to do something just for a YouTube video. So I decided to go with something that would be a lot more easy for me to get done, something a little bit simpler, just so that this week it wouldn't add any additional stress to me, right? I don't want my bullet journal setups to be performative. I absolutely love doing crazy over-the-top things, of course, because I have videos like that, but I only want to do those when I'm really feeling that I want to do them. I don't want to do them just to make a YouTube video. So I ended up just deciding to pull out some of the washi tape that I had. I've had this one for a while, probably like 2 years now, at least a year. I don't know, but I've only used it a couple of times. So I figured, since in my July reading journal setup, I was talking about how I really want to start actually using all the stuff that I have, I figured that I would go ahead and just pull out some washi tape that I have that I haven't really used yet, and this one was perfect. So I went ahead and pulled it out, and I'm going to just use it. And it made my setup this month really, really easy. I think I only had about an hour of footage, and the only thing that I actually sketched out were like the boxes for my calendar. So like any boxes that I have in my layouts, those are the only thing that I actually sketched out, because that tends to be the area that I mess up the most if I don't have a sketch done or like my lines kind of pre-drawn out in pencil. So it only took me about an hour to get everything filmed. So it was a very quick setup. And yeah, so I am on my cover page, my little July cover page here. I have just placed ripped washi. I'm ripping small pieces off of the edge of each of these washi tapes, the ones that are actual washi, not just washi stickers. In this set, I believe 2 of the rolls are washi stickers and then 2 of the rolls are actual washi tape. So I'm leaving them pretty wide, at least the wide one I'm going to leave pretty wide. And then I'm using like the floral one as just a little bit of an accent. I'm ripping an edge off of both of those, and I will be doing that throughout the entire setup, just ripping the washi tape a little bit. And then layering them on top of each other. So I've got kind of a border of washi on the left-hand side of my page and the right-hand side of my page. And then I'm just layering in some of these stickers from the sticker set. If I had a little bit more energy and time to spend on this, I probably would have placed some of the washi stickers on just like white paper to make them a little bit less see-through. I think that would have helped with some of the layering that I end up doing throughout this setup. But like I said, I couldn't be bothered. I wanted something very simple, very easy, and this is what we've got. We're moving right along here to my this month spread, so my calendar spread. The spread for this month for me generally contains a calendar. And then in that calendar is really kind of determined by how I'm feeling that month. So for this month, I have a regular calendar, and then I also have like a list calendar. And the list calendar, I did the same for June. And I put all of my content on the list calendar. I'm going to change this a little bit from what I did last month, and I think that that will help me a little bit more, but I did really like that for June, so I'm going to do that again for this month. I also made my July calendar a little bit smaller so that it fits on just one page instead of 2 pages. That way I had this kind of big space over on the right-hand side of the spread to add some more washi tape to. These small pieces that I'm ripping off, as you can see on the video here, like it's a pretty small piece of washi. I'm actually saving all of those. I use a couple of them throughout the setup in just like little areas. Like I put one on the other side of the calendar because it fit really nicely there. But ultimately, what I'll probably end up using those tiny, tiny strips for is going to be my daily logging or daily planning. So after I get my whole setup done, I don't normally kind of sketch out weeks or anything like that. I just do like a running list and just put a new date above the new day when it comes. So I'll probably take those strips and just kind of tape them down to the sides of my daily pages. And then that way it'll incorporate this theme into my daily planning pages as well. Here is the stickers again that I'm using for my headers. For my headers this month, I printed out a couple of extra ones. I added sleep and Etsy, but I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like trying to think of spreads for those. So I just cut them off of my sheet and set them aside. I ended up printing out 2 of all of the headers. So I've got another set of these headers that I'll probably use in another video in the future. So that was nice. Now I've got some extra ones. For my content tracker calendar thing that I'm working on right now, I am going to highlight every Saturday and every Tuesday, and I'm highlighting them in different colors. Last month, I just highlighted the weekends, and then I went back in and highlighted Tuesdays, and I found myself getting a little bit confused because I had both Saturday and Sunday highlighted, and I don't usually post videos on Sundays, so it was a little bit counterproductive for me to have highlighted that row. So this month I'm just going to highlight Tuesdays and Saturdays because those are the days that I generally try to upload. And then I'm also going to come back in a little bit later on before we end the video, and I'm just going to add a green line between Sunday and Monday just to separate the weeks out. The next spread that we will be working on is going to be my orders and my currently's pages. I started this in January, and I'm still very much loving having these 2 pages in my setups. So I am still going strong with it. I'm going to alternate where I'm placing my title headers, my title stickers. The orders is going to be at the top of the orders page, and then the currently is going to be at the bottom of the currently's page. And then I'm going to use that green mild liner to add a little bit thicker of a green line to border off my titles. And then I will go in with my 01 micron to add another line, just to add a little bit of black to that as well. Then for this particular page, instead of placing my decorative washi on the sides of the page, I'm going to place it on the top or the bottom of the coordinating page. So it's sitting opposite of my title. And I'm only going to be using the floral washi tape. I do have quite a few like little cutoff pieces of that like font or text tape that lists out flowers and like descriptions and stuff of them. So I will pull those from the side of my desk where I've just been sticking all of those and just add them as like a little accent. They're very tiny because, like I said, they're just the cutoffs that you've been seeing me cut off from the excess, essentially the pieces of washi tape that are hanging off of my page. I've just been placing those on my desk, sticking them against my desk, and I'm going to pull some of those off to just get them used up. I've also got these teeny tiny pieces that I just ripped off of these washi tapes that I placed on the top and the bottom, and I'm going to place those right next to the title for each page, just to kind of fill in a little bit of that space, because I did place them a little bit closer to the green and black lines and further away from the edge of the page. So this gave me just some additional, eye space taken up with that washi as well. Here I'm getting some of those extra cutoff pieces added as well. I'm also going to come back to this page and add a little bit more a little bit later in this setup. I tend to forget that I have things when I'm doing my setups. It happens, I feel like, every month. I swear. And I don't know why, because I set everything out right next to me when I do my setups, but I always forget about certain elements. And for this setup, I had forgotten that I had all of those sticker washies. So once I get this spread done, I'm going to remember that I have those sticker washies. And I'll add some to the spread as a little bit more decorative pieces, and then I'll flip back through the previous 2 pages and add a couple of the sticker washies to those pages as well before we officially end the setup. For my moods and my habits this month, I'm still going to be tracking all of the same things that I normally track, all of my same moods and my same habits, but I'm actually going to be placing them in kind of like a table format, if you will. This style reminds me of how I have my daily reading in my reading journal. So essentially what I'll probably end up doing is just pulling out one of the colors of the Tombows that I used, probably the N89, since I carry that one with me at all times. And then just when I get to whatever day, I'll just highlight that row. If I did the habit, or if I, for whatever mood that I felt. Initially, I was thinking that I would do the moods as a vertical graph, but then I ended up adding like lines and sketching out lines, and I'm just not sure how that's gonna look. I might still try it and just pencil it out at first and like do a pencil line and see how that looks. But I don't know if I'm gonna end up liking that, and I might end up just doing it with highlighting the row for whatever mood I'm feeling for whatever day it falls on. When I did the washi tape for this page, and you may have noticed this, but I was just having a time trying to figure out the placement of the large washi tape and the small washi tape. And it wasn't until I got to this very page that I figured out that if I just do all of the ripping first and dry place them on the page, I can figure out a lot easier where the small washi tape needs to be placed, and then place the large washi tape down right after that and have no issues. So eventually I got there, but it took a little bit. I'm pulling out another fine liner. This is a Staedtler fine liner in the color Sand, because I was unsure as I was setting this up how I was going to be filling in my mood tracker. So if I decided to do a graph like I've been doing the last few months, then I wanted the separation line to be a little bit lighter than just the black. So that's why I pulled out that lighter fine liner. And then I'm just going to, after I get these title areas highlighted and filled in completely, I will also go back over every other row, not each row, but every other row of both of these little graphs, just to kind of highlight every other line. That way, when I am filling things in, it's a little bit easier of a time for me to figure out what day I'm on, essentially. And now that I'm watching this back, I'm probably not going to be able to highlight the days as I go through them because I highlighted every other line. So I will probably have to figure out, I don't know. I'm still unsure how I will be filling these trackers in, I guess. Probably a dot. That seems to be my go-to when I'm unsure. I just put little dots. So I will probably just add a dot for each one. So ignore everything I said previously because that's obviously not true and not happening. Yes. So now we are just to the part of me adding in some additional decoration to each page using those washi stickers. I really like these washi stickers. But like I said, I think I would have liked them a little bit more had I added them to just a white piece of paper or even maybe like a tan piece of paper or something, just to separate it a little bit more from the washi that I'm layering it on top of. I think it would have helped. But overall, I'm super happy with the way that everything turned out, especially since it did not take me an obscene amount of time. And everything looks great. After I get all of these washi stickers added, I am done with this setup. I would love to know if you did a bullet journal setup or any type of journal setup for the month of July. What theme did you choose if you go by themes? I always find it super interesting to hear about and see other people's themes for certain months. Especially, I think my favorite is when I see other creators doing the exact same theme that I did, or me doing the exact same theme that they did, especially for like the same month, and the videos are like uploaded like a day apart, because like obviously we didn't know that was happening. And I just think it's such a coincidence. And I love seeing it, especially because I like to see how other people approach those themes. I'm a little bit off camera here, just adding like 2 additional washies in, and then I'm going to get my space cleaned up, and then we will just add a couple of green lines. This is what I was speaking about earlier in the video, where I'm just going to be separating the weeks with a green line, and it actually ends up falling perfectly in between my upload lines, which I really liked. So yeah, after I get all of these green lines added, we will jump in and do a final flip through. I would love to know your thoughts on this setup in the comments below. And, let me know how you're doing today. I'm doing okay. So anyways, the last thing that I'll do before we jump into the final flip through is just add another green line underneath my header for my habits and mood page, because I did not put any green on this page either. And I just wanted just a touch of green, just to make sure that it's incorporated. But anyways, so we are at the final flip through, and this is all I have for you today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!